Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
The Science of Crime is back for another season. It's the show with boring men in sunglasses in very low lighting, spouting overly dramatic one-liners.
The question is, did he do it?
No. The question is, are you going to win or are you going to go home?
America is tuning in each week to The Science of Crime. We have no idea why, but we've spun it out into 15 identical shows. The Science of Crime Vice City, The Science of Crime Las Venturas, Ohio, Tuskegee, Djibouti, Fairbanks, Panama City, Santiago, and more. The Science of Crime. It's forensically boring.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 515 of Third Shift. I, of course, am one of your hosts. I'm Mr. Eric, and with me today is the inglorious bastard himself. It's Mr. Matt. And, of course, we've got some gaming news all over the place. We got some free games for you. We got all sorts of cool things happening. But before any of that, I got to know what Matt's been doing this week because I have no idea. Matt, how you been? What's going on?
I have no idea. It feels like one of those weeks/weekends that just whoosh, like the last time we talked, and then poof, now we're here again. So I have no idea what I did, except I do know a couple things. One is, went out and did a 5K, BWL Hometown Power 5K. So we were kind of out in Rio Town, running around doing the thing. And since it was sponsored by BWL, which is the power company, freaking a man in a Louis the Lightning Bug outfit was there. I didn't even think Louis the Lightning Bug was a thing again until I saw this Louis the Lightning Bug man. And I went, hell yeah. And, you know, I had his big old mascot smile on. And I was just like, yeah, man. Yeah. And I felt good.
Did you get one of those pencils with the cool freaking light bulb at the end like we used to get when we were kids all the time?
No, they didn't have anything like that.
Oh,
no.
Bummer. Too bad.
I was feeling weird like the tail end of last week. I was having some issues and went to the 5K and went, should I even be here? And then I saw Louis and I was like, yeah, I should. And then it was great. It was just fun running around, you know, going under bridges and around these weird neighborhoods and all these places I've never seen before. And I don't know, it was just fun. And I maybe got a personal best for this last, this most recent batch of 5Ks that I've done, except maybe they started it a couple minutes early also. So maybe there was like no timing mat at the start. There was only a timing mat at the finish. So if it started at the correct time, then I probably did average. But if it's actually started when we started, then I did a personal best. I'm just going to take it. It's fine. So that was fun. On the video game front, this is another part where it feels like I don't have any idea. Like, what did I do? I know at least one night, and now 2 nights now, I played through Murder by Numbers, like a whole lot. That's that Ace Attorney style game, but anytime you search for evidence, you have to find it in a P-cross, like little grid thing. You have to fill it out. And then once you've got it all done, then it goes, bring, you found a newspaper, you found a rock, you found a skull, you found this, that, or the other thing. And that's like literally everything. Anytime when you're talking to a detective and he goes, hey, we found this at the murderer's house, then you have to solve the thing. You have to do a P-cross game to find out what he gave you. And it was really fun. I beat it last night. I finally finished it. And it was just fun and great. Like, I know I did this as a release back in the IG2G days. And if you talk about it, like, oh, you do Ace Attorney stuff, but then everything you do revolves around P-cross. Like, if you're not really into P-cross, which I'm not really either, it sounds weird and like dumb and not exciting. But I think, like I said, when I first talked about this, I think it was on the What You Playing, so I will say it here. The music, when you solve the puzzles, it's like such hype music. So like even when I got the biggest grid to fill out, and I was like, oh my God, why is it like 20 by 15 now instead of just 15 by 15? It started off like 10 by 10. It was really easy. I saw this giant grid, but then the music went, I don't even know what the thing is, but it's just like hype music. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Solving puzzles, getting some stuff wrong, but then figuring out, because I found out where the wrong was, then I figured out the rules to go and do this thing. And it was just a lot of fun. Like if you have any, like if you don't absolutely hate P-cross or these types of puzzles, check this game out. I'm sure you can get it for like $5. It's been out since before 2019. Murder by Numbers is just fun. And the characters are goofy. It's just a Ace Attorney style time. Like there's murder and there's, evil bad guys, but all the side characters just fun and wacky. And so it's just this fun, wacky time. And I thought to myself as I was nearing the end, I thought, man, this is so good. Why haven't they made a sequel to this yet? So I looked, and it's made by Mediatonic, I think is the name of the developer. So I looked them up on Wikipedia, and I scrolled down through the games, and I hit Murder by Numbers, and I went, okay, what's the next game they made? Oh, they made Fall Guys, and they haven't made anything since. And I went, oh, well, I mean, I don't know if Fall Guys still does numbers or decent numbers or whatever, but I was like, oh, well, that was big for the longest time. So I guess it makes sense that they haven't gone back to making a sequel to this game. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. There's a kind of a sequel little jab at the very end, like post-credit scene. And I was like, please, someday, let this happen. Because I really love these characters, really love this world. The art style's fun. The gameplay is fun if you're into logic puzzles, which I am. I don't know, it was just great. A great experience. And then in between the two sessions, I got a Steam machine. And I brought it here and I hooked it all up. And I went, man, what are you going to play on that Steam machine, brother? And I went, I don't know. Let me just download everything that says it's good on Steam machine. Blah, 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 from my Steam library. A million things. What are you going to play? I don't know. Let's play Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. Because I've been needing to play an Ys game and it just felt right. Like I downloaded Dead as Disco and a bunch of other newer stuff. And I was like, should I start playing it on the Steam machine? I went, I don't know. But Ys 8 just called to me. It called through the fog. And I started playing it. And goddamn, like I know you've played some of it.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of bounced off of it because you said old game is old.
Yeah, it felt old, and I was like, oh man, I want to love this. Damn, it's going back.
And you're not wrong because it definitely has that old school feel. But like as soon as I saw the old school graphics and just like I don't want to say like old school characters, but like the interface, it's all like chunky and it feels old. I just like my smile got 10 times bigger, and I was like, yeah, man. So I played through a couple nights, a couple hours over a couple nights, and I just love it. The bright colors, the goofy anime style situation that you're in, especially with the first girl character that you meet. And I'm just like, that's the anime, that's the way anime characters meet. And it just fits with this like wholesome ease time. I will say the only knock on it I have is I've played like maybe 4 hours of it, 5 hours of it now. And I'm still just like on the island where you crash. You're still just kind of building stuff and you're still just kind of looking for people. And I went, oh, well, I'm ready to get rescued and go on an adventure, especially with the other side, the other main character that I know is here or somewhere, in time or whatever. But they're like, nope, hey, we just built a little shop here for that character we met, and go try and find some more castaways. I'm like, oh, well, I love it. I love it. I'm not knocking it, but it's a real slow burn intro. But it just makes me smile when I play it. And those colorful, just like old graphics just leap off the screen and into my eyeballs, all HDR'd up with, all the graphics whoozits. Just feels good. So it's been a good week, but it feels like a weird week that I felt like nothing happened. I had good game time. I had a good run. I had another good game time, but something feels off and weird. But that was my week. What about you, buddy?
Well, by gosh golly, this week, a few days ago, I sent the family off, took the camper to the campgrounds for the first time this summer and the last time this summer, because the only other trip we're going to do is the little Halloween one in the fall time. So it wasn't a great year for camping, but the camper got out once. It is being used one time this year. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get time off, so I only stayed one night and had to come back so I could go to work. So that was one thing I did. Spent a day out camping, and then, of course, drove back here to work and do my usual work week. So that was a good time. And, of course, my daughters, they are going to new grades, and my oldest is now entering high school. So the other day I had to go to the open house and go to the high school and actually see what the layout is. I don't care about the teachers. I need to know the layout in case of emergency. I can get in and I know where everything is. So I went there and just kind of did some reconnaissance to make sure I know where all the rooms are, know what the building layout is. And it was insane. It was everything I hate. Tons and tons of kids running around, tons and tons of smelly people and sick people. I absolutely hate it, but it was necessary. So I did it. And it's just strange, of course, now I got my one daughter in high school, so just a few more years and got one kid being an adult and shipped off.
When you said that, my brain went, no way. But then my realistic other side of my brain went, yeah, dude, it's been like 14 years, so it's time for that. I know when she got born because it was right after we both got into Jackson, and it's been that many years. So that's crazy. It feels crazy, but it's not. But it is. It's still just crazy.
It is crazy. It goes by quick, as any parent or adult will tell you. Adults in general, just time goes by faster the older we get. You know the deal. So it's strange. We did that, and then of course went and saw Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Oh, nice.
And I saw it in not the IMAX, the whatever that's new thing is, the bigger one with the 4D lasers, and oh my God. First off, the movie was fantastic. What a great show. What a great movie. My interest in Marvel has been, as everybody knows, declining hardcore for years, but seeing this just went, there can be a good Marvel movie. Yes, thank goodness. Here it is. Here's one. It was so much fun to watch. And then, of course, watching it in that theater, they did this sound thing before, like they used to do, and sometimes still do, before the show started. And it was a little leaflet or a little seed from like a maple tree falling. It was hitting things, and it was like just doing its whole thing. And it was so spatially correct, like ridiculously so. You could pinpoint, and not just like, hey, I know there's one speaker here, one speaker here, one speaker here, one speaker here. No, somehow it was able to give you above and below sounds, all around sounds. So like you'd hear the noise from where it was, and it would be where it is, where you would think it would be, down in this corner. And it's like, this is amazing. I wish I could have something like this in my home. And funny enough, I briefly looked up, and you can buy like these systems now that can make your room spatially sound efficient like that. And boggles the mind, but it was a great movie, great time, had fun with it, and of course played a few games, man. Played Grand Blue Fantasy. Nothing to report, still trucking through. I am at the end. And you know what I did, man? What do you think I did, man? What do you think? Take a wild guess what you think I did. I got to the end. Besides fall off completely.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that. I was going to say you found out that you have to go and do some super secret thing to get the best story, and so you started doing that, and you went, this is going to take too many years. That's my guess.
Okay, you're pretty close.
Okay.
You're pretty close. I got to the end, and then my brain went, why don't you just go back to all the quests and at least get a S tier plus rating on them? And I said, why, brain?
No,
and I said,
do that.
well, because your characters are only level 60. Shouldn't you be like level 80 or something going to the end game here? And so instead of beating the game, I just started going back and doing all the quests again until I got S plus tier on all of them. And it makes no sense because I have a million games to play.
Uh-huh.
And I even complained last week. They said, okay, it's all the way the game works is very, very, very just boom, 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 static, static, static. Why did I do it? I don't know. I don't understand. Something's wrong in my brain. Something is wrong with me. So after about 4 hours of this, I just shut it off again because I went, I can't do this. This is too stupid. But I wouldn't stop doing it, so I had to shut it off and just play something else to stop myself from doing it because I'm dumb. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, it also, and in my defense, I will say that it doesn't help that there's when you go to like your gear slot or your weapon, there's like 5 or 6 slots. I only have 2 weapons for every character, and I'm at the end game. So that obviously tells me that the DLC and the post game is where you're going to get all the other weapons but it doesn't, my brain doesn't like that. It does not like that one bit. I'm like, no, where's at least 2 or 3 more weapons for every character? Not to mention, they've only gone through 2 full like cycles of leveling up. There's like 5 more. I'm like, so I'm a baby. I'm a little tiny baby who hasn't done nothing in this game at 60 plus hours or whatever the hell I've got in this thing. And my characters are level 60 with level 2, in my mind, level 2 weapons. It doesn't make sense. Not to mention, I haven't even got all my skill brackets maxed out yet. So like my brain, I can't compute and I know the game isn't meant to be like a typical RPG because it's supposed to be post game. It's like kind of Monster Hunter Wilds type vibe going on to it. It's just not adding up, and it's like bugging me, and I know I can beat the game because I'm smoking the enemies as I do the story progression. So I'm like, okay, I'm obviously capable of it, but it doesn't make sense. I don't like it. It just bugs me.
I hear you. When you first said it, obviously I was laughing, but then you're explaining it. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Especially if you can look at the missions and see, oh, I got an A rank, I got a B rank, I got an A plus, but I know there's more. Then it's got to be there, even if it's not there. It's got to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So this game is crazy, man. Really enjoy it, but God bless. And then one last thing on it, and I swear I'll stop. There are like 50 other characters I still don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've got all these little cards that said I can go get them for free, but I told you guys before, if I go click on them, like, hey, you're going to spoil the story for yourself if you click this because this character's going to come naturally. Well, when? I'm at the end of the game. Where are these other 20 characters coming from? The DLC? Are all 20 of them coming in a DLC? Or is there some crazy post-game thing I don't even know about that's going to happen? And it's like, yeah, you beat the bad boss, but there's a whole 20 new series character quests to go help out all the other things and recover from what she did or whatever. You know, I don't know that part. But I'm like, there's so much content untouched. And it's like, hey, you ready to go do the last deed? Unless it's this huge lie. And it's like, no, but we already did one. We thought it was the end moment. So I assume this is the actual real end moment now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's going to do a threefer. You know, like, oh, you really thought it was over now. But there's actually somebody who's like a god of this god who is controlling this god to do the things. And now you got to go beat them. We'll see. I don't know. Grand Blue, you're killing me. Grand Blue, you're killing me. And the last game I played this week was some more Resident Evil Requiem. And it's been just a hoot and a holler. It's been Leon pretty much this whole time. And got through a couple bosses, got through a mission that was pissing me off, which I talked about, got through it. And then I got back to a, what's her name? Why am I blanking on her name?
Grace, right?
Grace. Yeah, I got back to a Grace part. And I went, oh, God, I got used to Leon. Oh. Huh. This is weird. It's strange. Why can't I shoot things and kill monsters and do things? I'm sneaking around again. Oh, man. Okay. So instead of getting mad at it, I was like, all right, well, shut it off there. Maybe like a couple days of just not playing it. Then I get back and fresh. I'll be like, okay, all right, here, get your mind right. You're Grace, sneaking around, doing the things. You're scared. Everything's scary. All right, we got this. So we'll see. So we're still working on it. Not gone yet. Not done. I didn't abandon it. We're still there. But Kronos has been hollering at me for weeks now. Really wants me to play it again. So it's calling. And then I downloaded Beast of Reincarnation.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
didn't touch it. But I only got 4 days to play it because on the 20th, my subscription to Xbox is kaput. So I figured I might dabble in it. Just one of these days, play it for a few hours. But I told you, this is one of those ones I can probably skip. I won't feel terrible. But since I have it for free, I'm like, well, I might as well at least go play it and see what it feels like. So a few more days of it.
Now, I do want to jump in and say, here's the facts, folks. We do the show notes. We put in like our games we played and all that stuff. I don't delete Eric's stuff because I don't know what he's going to keep playing, what he's not going to play. Signalis is still on this list, sir. Have you got back to Signalis yet?
Oh my God, you're right. God, I felt like I was taking too long. Yes, I played the hell out of Signalis this week.
Okay, good.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was in there. I've been going nuts with that game, but I'll tell you, man, that game can be infuriating sometimes because there's a mechanic they don't tell you that's an actual mechanic, and I thought I didn't know if it was a real mechanic or not. I still don't really know, but it's like, hey, if you run, they'll hear you. Okay, I guess that means don't run around everywhere. But, you got to get to places. You got to you backtrack a ton in this game. It's one of those types of games. So I'm like, all right, well, let me run. I ran. Nothing's happening. But then sometimes the dead come back. And then they're back there trying to murder you. And this game is unforgiving when it comes to ammunition and everything else. So I'm like, do these dudes just come back? Is that the gimmick? They will come back, period. Because no matter what, when you walk by them, like they glitch. They don't come back all the time. Sometimes they stay dead, but there's like a glitch on them. So I'm like, okay, does running like make them come back faster? Does it activate them to come back? But there's been instances where I'm walking and they come back too. So I don't know if this is an actual mechanic in this game or not. I don't know. And it doesn't just say, hey, helpful tip, So I don't know. I don't know what causes these things to come back. If you've entered the room too many times it ignites them to come back. If you're running too much in that room, then they come back. Or just there's a time frame in which they come back, period. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's pissing me off because, you know me, I've gone through and killed every baddie I've ever encountered in this game. I'm out of ammo all the time, just all the time, never have ammunition, just constant. But all the baddies are dead, but nope. Now all the baddies are alive in every room again. So every room I've got to sneak and run past enemies every single time. And the game's like, oh, you don't have the blank card key you need. Well, got to run back to the sewer system. Oh, but guess what? You've only got 5 slots. And guess what? You need health in all of those and, other things that you need to access it. So go to the thing, drop off 2 things that you pretty much need, but you obviously don't need because you need to go get that card. Run back through. Oh, all the enemies, sneak, run, because I got no ammunition. And I've explored all the rooms, so therefore ammunition's all gone. Because guess what, Matt? Hey, the enemies come back, but do you think ammunition or anything helpful to you in the game comes back? It does not. It does not. So now you have no ammo, you have no health. And so now you're on these like one-shot runs. Everywhere I go now, one-shot runs. If I fail or get bit, reset. Got to redo it because I can't get bit, can't get any health loss, can't have no way to fight this thing. But I want to keep playing because the story is so stupid, bonkos. It makes no sense, and I don't understand what's happening at all. It's just twisted and weird, and it makes no sense. Literally none. And I'm like, there's got to be a moment that's going to tell me something. It's going to just go, oh my God, mind blown. This is insane. Because nothing makes any sense, period, right now. Period. So I keep going. But I have no ammo, no health, no nothing. I just run and hide and run to the next door. And I spend most of my time staring at my map, going like, hey, left, down, right, left, down. Okay, memorize that? Memorize that, Eric? Go. Oh, I made it. Okay. All right, map. Up, left, right, up. Okay, up. You got that, Eric? Can you memorize that? Go. Like playing like a Pac-Man game or something. I don't know. It's weird. Signalis, go play this game. It's crazy.
That is so much more than I expected. I am glad you played some of it, though. I was afraid this was going to be, oh, Kronos is calling me. He's going to pull me over here. Oh, Signalis back over here. So I'm glad it's not that, but I'm also not glad that it's become ridiculous.
It's insane.
But I'm going to tell you something else that's ridiculous, but in a good way. And that's a game called Agent 64 Spies Never Die. And that came out on the 11th, so a couple days ago as we're recording this. Developed and published by apparently a single person, Replicant D6. This is for PC only. I haven't heard anything about a console release, although it would be awesome to have this on a console. Just saying, Replicant D6, if you or some buddies can make a way for that to happen. Because this is Agent 64 Spies Never Die. This is a throwback to GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Just take a look at it. That's what it looks like. It looks like what your memories of those games looked like, because those games looked way worse than you remember. You know the deal. We always talk about that. That's what this is. If somebody made a new GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, that is 100% what this is. And in this game, you play as an old retired secret agent, and your big nemesis comes out of retirement, and he's like, I'm going to do something and take over the world, and now you got to stop him. And so you're going through, I think, 14 separate levels. It's a story-based game. You go through all these levels. And in each level, you're shooting bad guys, you're accomplishing goals, and there's 3 difficulty settings. You got Agent, you got Secret Agent, and you got 64 Agent. And as you go up in difficulty, not only do the enemies do a little bit more damage, it's a little bit harder, but then you have more objectives. Not just shoot the guy, and not just get out of the room. Now you got to hack this device. Now you got to take a picture of this super thing. Man, sounds exactly like GoldenEye, right? That's it. That's how this game plays, too. Watch a trailer, watch some gameplay, watch a review. When you see the auto aim and you see the gun go, and it goes and points straight at the dude, if you ever played GoldenEye or Perfect Dark back in the day, all your brains will light up. Your eyes will go wide and you go, yeah, buddy. And you'll hear the sound of poof, 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 poof. It sounds just like GoldenEye. It sounds just like Perfect Dark. That's what this game is. Like, this is a love letter to all that stuff. And I will say, if you have no experience with GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, I think there is like a modern controls setting, because otherwise it plays just like those did. Like, you move around with one stick. You don't like aim with another stick. There's the auto aim. You can manually aim, but you have to hold down a button and then move it, on the screen like you did with GoldenEye. So like some reviews have said that's really just for like sniping or like a really precision, like kind of barely leaning around the corner and ping, ping, ping over here. You're meant to rely on the generous auto aim and run through it and have a good time. If you want to talk objectively about graphics, they don't look that great, but they look better than those two games did. Like I said, if you made these games in a modern engine, that's what it looks like. It looks, to my eyes, super clean and super nice. But you're not going to see articulated fingers on the people. You're not going to see HDR, stubble on the guy or anything. You got polygon people, but they look really sharp and really nice. The textures look nice. They don't look like HDR bump mapped whatevers, but they look really good for this style of game. I've heard the music's really good. I've heard the sound effects are really good. I've heard the guns are a lot of fun to shoot. And on top of, the 14 mission story mode that you can go through, where like, I think your daughter gets kidnapped and you got to rescue her too. It's twists and turns, it's ups and downs. There's all kinds of spy action type of stuff. But on top of that, you can unlock, I think they're called contracts, which are different ways to play those missions. So not only can you go through on those 3 different difficulty settings, but now you can go into the contracts version of that mission. And maybe in this one, you only have a certain amount of time to complete the level, but each enemy you kill gives you an extra 2 seconds. Maybe in this one, you have to kill a certain number of enemies without taking any hits yourself. So you're playing it really carefully, but also trying to run and gun. It kind of puts a bunch of different spins and a bunch of different, not objectives, but a bunch of different play styles, like different gameplay styles on top of those missions. So you can do that. And as you're going up in difficulty, as you're doing these contracts things, that's where you unlock credits that you kind of spend to unlock modifiers and later stages and do all this other stuff. So it just sounds fun. From a single player point of view, tons of stuff to do. Oh, by the way, you can also co-op the whole campaign. I think up to 4-player co-op. You can jump in with buddies and just booming and banging all over the place. And you know what I'm getting at. You can also online multiplayer this. Big matches, like 8, 12 people, maybe just 8, but I think somebody said up to 12. And then you can also, even though it's just on PC, so I don't know how this would work, you can 4-player split screen, either co-op or PvP this thing. So this is full on GoldenEye. This is full on Perfect Dark. Oh, speaking of Perfect Dark, in the multiplayer, in the PvP, you can have bots in there. I've seen footage of people fighting the bots just like in Perfect Dark. So if you have any love or nostalgia for either of those 2 games from the N64 era, you need to get this fucking game. I'm going to get it. I think it's only like $25. So with the Steam, however many % launch discount, it's literally like $19.99 right now. If you remember those games at all and you want to have not like a rehash, but like a fresh new spin on that kind of a time, go get Agent 64 Spies Never Die. I couldn't believe this. Like I heard about this in a Steam Next Fest demo, and I was like, oh, someday I'll play that, a few weeks ago when the last Steam Next Fest was. And then they went, surprise, it's out. And I went, oh. And then I started watching it and researching it, and this just looks really cool. Like everything you loved from those games is here. There's even a level where you start in vents and you come out and there's a guy, in the stall and you plink plink right in his head. Like references are here to the wazoo, but it's not just references. It's a whole new game. It's a whole new action and everything you loved from those. Big DK mode, it's here. Come on, get it. Agent 64, Spies Never Die. If you're a young punk and you never play those games, just get this too. Support the solo dev. Really cool project, really fun stuff. Go and get it and play it. It's great. It's going to be good.
Well, the game I'm about to talk about, the reason I'm talking about it is because back when I served in Vietnam, Matt, back when I did a stint in old Vietnam.
That's not true.
Just kidding. No, I wasn't in Vietnam, folks. But I like the Vietnam era. I like that era. We hated our soldiers. We treated them like shit. We didn't help them out. We ostracized them. And we lost the war and as well. It was a whole thing. What a shitty war that was. But you know what? Fighting in that combat, oh my God, for the real soldiers, hell on earth, literally hell on earth. But in a video game, sounds really fun. Sounds really cool. I love the jungle beats, the swamps, all that kind of stuff. Sounds really cool and neat. So in real life, no. But in video game, yes.
I don't think I mentioned this on the podcast. I watched like The Deer Hunter a few weeks ago. And, it's about the Vietnam era and Vietnam War. And it's just like, there is something about that. Like when you see it in a movie or a game and you're like, you know this was wretched, but when you see it, you're like, that's kind of cool.
God, it's crazy.
Like,
That's cool.
Look how cool that is.
Literal
But-
traps, you know? I mean, like, oh, God.
And I mean, it's not
Vietnamese-
cool. It's not cool. It's not cool
Vietnamese
at all.
going through tunnels and shit. I mean, just crazy stuff. Putting bombs on kids and making them run into the jungle at you. What a cool time. What a crazy cool video game. But not really.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
but not for real. Not for
at
real
all
at
for
all.
real. No.
But I don't know. Just looked really neat. And I went, God bless. This is not a game I'd play, but God, I want to go look at this one. So I did. And that's Hell Let Loose Vietnam. Developed by Expression Games. It's a tactical first-person shooter / like light military sim. It's not like a hardcore military sim, but it is a military sim. So if you're going into this thinking it's Call of Duty, it is not. But what got me really going was there's these huge maps. And then, of course, the U.S. forces, they get like the Hueys. That's how they travel around because that's what they did in real life. They had the little helicopters that boom, 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 took troops all over the place. And you will do that if you're on the U.S. forces side. And you'll start at one main base. But to win, you got to make your bases and then strategically support and defend them as well from the Vietnamese. And this is how you start to make progress on the map and then go ahead and flank and or just destroy the enemy people, folks, or whatever. Same with the Vietnamese. They've got to do the same to you. Well, guess what? Vietnam War, they didn't have choppers. They had tunnels. So this game, to help make things even, you establish a tunnel and then you link it somewhere, but it can't just be across the map and then constantly flank. You have to place them and strategically move them and keep going with them throughout the game. But once you hit that button on one, it'll show what tunnel systems you have made, and then you can fast travel to any of them. And I thought that was the coolest damn thing ever. So yeah, you don't get to fly around and then just drop in wherever you want, but you're just fast traveling around. So you can be like, oh, I know they've got a base set up here and a huge line of defense going. It's pretty much where I'll die if you go there. Well, those idiots don't know. We already have a tunnel system that goes around over to this corner. So whoop, 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 bypass, and you can just kind of get around that way. And of course, their military weapons are all accurate to date. They hired a professional dude who knows all of his guns to help them make sure it was sound accurate, worked accurately, functioned accurately, all that good stuff. So the sound, phenomenal. The way everything operates, really, really cool. The fact that you've got to build these bases, maintain them, supply them, and whatnot, just to keep everything going. Very sim-like, very, very cool, very neat in concept and idea. And yeah, I don't know, man. It just struck a fancy in me. And it was also what really got me going was hey, this isn't like a Battlefield map. Battlefield maps are huge, but you can you still get around. No, these are huge. You have to have trucks. You got to get a 5-ton or whatever, or the Huey or stuff. You will not be able to get from one point all the way to the other without using a vehicle unless you just want to waste time for 5 hours traversing through the jungle and doing all the stuff. And of course, they've got different maps and then different scenes in different areas from different, conflicts and whatnot from the Vietnam War. Some are more sandy, beachy some are super in-depth, swampy jungle. Some are a mixture of both. They got one with a big river coming through, so you're going by the Pad Thai River, Pad Chi Pan, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. Ho Chi Minh Trail. There it is. That's what we used to call our paintball little trail that we used to go on. And we'd always get ambushed if you went on the Ho Chi Minh Trail, but it was the quickest, easiest path through this forested area we used to play on. So yeah, there's a.
I'm never gonna get over the Pad Thai River. That's
oh goodness.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Stupid. Oh, I wish I wasn't so dumb. Oh man.
Don't see. I'm glad you're so dumb. This is a great moment, right?
So yeah, there you go. You got Hell Let Loose Vietnam. If you love the military sim games but don't want to go super hardcore, this one's looking like it's right up your alley. And especially if you love the Vietnam War in general, I feel like in gaming it doesn't get done a ton. I feel it's it's always World War II, et cetera, et cetera. But this one I appreciate because you're still getting some old school but you're not clanking around with crappy World War II weaponry, which anytime you get me in a game like that, I instantly lose interest because those weapons sucked. It was no fun. I don't enjoy that. Whereas Vietnam had, it was right there. You had your machine guns, you had things going. They were still kind of simplistic, but they all existed and were there to use. So I would love to take a peek at this. I just wish it was done in more my style, just kind of arcadey, like a Battlefield or not a Call of Duty, because that's too fast and crazy for me. But Battlefield needs to do a Vietnam one so I can have my time in the Vietnam War that I didn't get to have because I wasn't born. All right?
Thank God you didn't have that actual time. Virtual time, yes. Actual time, no. But speaking of good times, I'm going to tell you about free games from this past week. I'm going to start off with 2 from Steam, because Eric had to diss Steam a few weeks back, and they've been dropping out free games left, right, and center. Now, this one I'm going to tell you about first off. It's already expired, so you can't get it. But they had Breath Edge, which I think is like Subnautica in space. And I think it's the exact same situation as, what was it, Moonlighter last week?
Yeah.
Where the second one is coming into early access or out of early access or whatever. I think Breath Edge 2 is either coming out or early accessing pretty soon. So that's why that was there. So that was free. And then a game called Knit Classic, Knytt Classic. That is a game from forever ago, like early 2010, maybe. It's a little platforming game. You're a little platforming person. But the Steam page says like, oh, the legendary indie adventure. They said, hey, we brought it back so you can play it on brand new, your new hardware, your current gen stuff. Like you couldn't do that before, and now we did it. So I wanted to shout it out. It's a pretty simple game, but it's free, and it's a developer doing the right thing. Something you couldn't play anymore. Now we brought it back, and it's free. So maybe it's not for everybody, but hey, a little bit of free shout out from Steam. A developer doing the right thing. I like it.
And I'll tell you, this week was rough trying to get the free games. Epic, I don't know what was wrong with Epic. Epic was not wanting to work for me, was not wanting to load. But I finally got there. But by the time I did, I was aggravated and had wasted too much time on it. So I did no research on this game. Caravan Sandwich. And that's not like a sandwich you're eating, but a sand and a witch, like a old witch with a hat. So I don't know what this is about, but it's got witches in it. I know that because of the whole thing on the little title there. I'm just upset. Epic, you disappointed me this week. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it.
I'm going to segue from a sandwich to a sandustry, because on Game Pass, the latest game that I checked out right before the show started is called Sandustry, like sand industry. So I think you're on a sand planet building some stuff. Mm-hmm. That's in game preview, so that's early access. I didn't know due diligence on any of this stuff either, but I'm going to tell you that the Gears of War E-Day multiplayer beta is also around on the Game Pass. So if you want to get in on some multiplayer, I've heard like the Horde mode is expanded in Gears of War E-Day, and I don't know if that's here in the beta, but I've heard that's like it's 3 whole teams trying to do their separate objectives. So not just regular Horde mode where it's the you and 3 folks, defending against waves. Now there's 3 sets of that, and you have to like go out and do things and maybe help each other out to get all overall objectives. So that sounds pretty fun, in addition to all the usual Gears of War shotguns and kills and whatever doozies. But I thought that was cool, and I'll shout it out here. Then you also have Date Everything, which is that indie game where like everything around your house is a sexy like anime person, and you can talk to them and date them all. I've heard that's pretty fun and silly. Obviously fun and silly, but go check that out. And then one that I don't understand the subtitle of this game at all, and when I clicked on the game, the subtitle went away. But on the Game Pass screen, it says Cricket 26, so maybe, there's a Cricket World Championship going on. That's a too weird sport for me. I'm not watching that one. But the subtitle on the Game Pass screen is Cricket 26, the official game of the Ashes. And I'm like, that sounds like way too epic and like mysterious to be about cricket. Like that has to be a subtitle that got stolen from something and accidentally got put on Cricket 26, because I Googled that and nothing came up. So I don't know what's going on, but that sounded fucking cool. If you said to me, Cricket 26, it's the official game of the Ashes, I'm like, oh, is cricket going to burn the world down or something? Is this a post-apocalyptic cricket? I'll play that. That sounds cool. I don't think that's what it is, but that sounded cool, so I had to say it. I mean, I had to say it's right there. It's on the screen. What do you want from me?
Yeah, you got to do it. It's what's there. And of course, I kept telling you. I told you already. It was hard for me this week. Amazon free games is being crazy. Last week, I told you they hadn't posted anything. And then last second, I saw something, and I think it was writing down in Hive Swap Friendism. And I'm looking all day yesterday. I kept refreshing, redoing. Nobody knows what the games were. Nobody. And I'm like, what is going on? What is happening here? Sure enough, like 10 minutes before we started the show, somebody, as an hour ago, was like, oh, I think we got him. And then they listed the 2 that we'd already gotten last week, apparently. But then they listed a couple more. Pyramids and Aliens, Escape Room. Guess what? Yay, go play an escape room with pyramids and aliens. Have fun. Not good. Not good, Amazon. You're not impressing me. And then Airship, Kingdoms Adrift. And I went, well, maybe this is good. No, looks like just kind of a manual game. Nothing for Eric, but, whatever. Then I went, what's the last one? Still Rising. And I went, that don't sound cool. That sounds dumb. So I went and kind of just did a little quick look-see. Nothing big. I went, wait a minute, it's Liza P.
Mm-hmm.
Except you're like a female automaton thing going around killing all sorts of French soldiers and whatnot. And it's based in some weird dystopious future / past of, kings and queens and French this and that. I went, that looks kind of cool. And it's a hack and slash 3D. It's the whole thing. I went, maybe I should do some more research on that. But I didn't do it. But it did look actually pretty cool. So you get one there, Amazon.
And I'm so excited that I saw that because, I canceled my PSN because I never use it. And that was one of the games I had downloaded. Like, someday I'm going to play some Steel Rising. And maybe I won't love it as much as Liza P because I've heard good stuff. I've heard mid stuff. So who knows? But I was like, I'm losing my access to it because I'm never going to buy that. Huh. Thanks, Amazon. You heard my plea. You did everything else wrong, but at least now I have access to this to see if I like it or not. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep. So good on you, Amazon, at the end, I guess. One decent game is better than 0 decent games. So that's a whole bunch of free games, some good, some bad, at your disposal, everybody. You got the gist of it. And I'm going to start up today with, I watched 2 trailers in the last 2 days, Matt. And they were both gameplay trailers, both like, hey, here's a taste of the game. And one of them was a Shiva fight from Final Fantasy Resonance. It's upcoming. And I haven't really done a lot of due diligence, a lot of research on this one. I know it's the lovely 2D HD, whatever, 2.5 HD. And that's kind of sold me. But the fact that it was born and created off the bones of a mobile game really hurt it. I don't trust mobile games, never have, never will. But I was like, well, let's watch this fight. Let's see what this game's about. And it looks gorgeous, and it looks fun. And it is in the 2.5 HD, so it was all there. Everything was sweet. And then on top of that, I was even further sold, unfortunately, because I didn't realize, I knew that you got moves or I thought they were going to come in as summons or something like that. Old characters from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
All the famous characters from other Final Fantasies. I was like, I never did any research on it. I was just like, okay, probably they're going to come as summons or something like that. No. You straight up equip them alongside your own actual character, and then they have a shadow / ghost appearance behind you. And then when it's your turn, you have your own full skill set, but so do they. So you can go in and go, oh, okay, I want to be Titus. And then Titus, he has all of his own moves, and he has his own ultimate as well. So you can build up his ultimate and do him. And then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm watching the fight, and all the characters, they've got their character, their extra character plus their own characters, and they're showcasing moves from both to fight Shiva. And then it was like, all right, you've got an ultimate. And so they took Squall's, and they did Squall's ultimate. And I'm like, okay, it'll be like a cool little thing. No, it straight up goes into a crazy CG. And Squall's up on the thing, and Blade comes out, and he's like, oh, I'm going to send you to the heavens quick, blah, blah, blah. And then brrr, huge flames and all sorts of just shooting and stuff. And I was like, what the hell's this? So not only with, of course, your actual summons, are you going to get the cool usual sequences, but with the ultimates from your ghosts of Final Fantasy pasts, you're also going to get these really cool ultimates. Now, I did see a special move from your actual regular character, and it was super huge and cool, and it was in game form, and he's doing all the things, but it didn't go into CG form like it did with theirs. So I think theirs are just staying in game, but they do the whole huge usual Final Fantasy flair. But with the other ones, you actually get a CG cutscene, the whole nine, like you sometimes did with actual summons. Even though those usually stayed in game, didn't actually go CG. It's really strange, but it was cool nonetheless. And all the music was popping right. All the items were there, all your typical Final Fantasy items. So after watching in general, I was like, okay, God damn it. I guess I'm going to be on board. I'm going to play this game. And I like the main character. He's just a complete idiot and just, just being stupid, and everybody else just knows he's stupid. But I appreciate that kind of character. I love hey, I'm just saying what I want to say, and I don't care about the consequences. And everyone's like, if you just shut up. And he doesn't, and it's great. I love it. So watch that, had fun with it. I don't know, did you check that out at all, or?
I had no idea that any of this trailer stuff was even happening, because I said this on a podcast that you weren't on, but like, I feel like Final Fantasy Resonance, when I saw the 2D HD art style, I was like, that's cool, but I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of burned out on that art style for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But now you saying all that stuff, I'm like, well, I do need to go watch this because that sounds pretty cool. And I know like the mobile game that it was based on, you collected all the characters and used all their special abilities, but the way you describe it sounds way cooler than that mobile game ever looked.
Mm-hmm. I'd say watch it.
Yeah, I am going to go watch it and then probably get sold just like you did and just go, oh crap, there's another damn game I got to play and fall in love with and love. Geez, that sucks. But I'm going to go check it out. I haven't yet though.
And then of course today, Blood of the Dawnwalker developer posted everything you need to know about Blood of the Dawnwalker video. It's like 7 minutes long or something. I was already sold on the game for like most part, but I was like, well, let's go watch it and see. And sure enough, I was like, yep. Oh my God. I'm so sold. I am so sold. They did the thing, which once again, I didn't research this a lot. I just went off vibes and feelings and I was going to get it. They did it. They did hey, this vampire is the overlord, but he's got 3 commanders that control these different sectors of the continent or whatever. And you're somewhere in the Carpathian Mountains. So you're going to have mountainous ranges. You're going to have forests, deep forests and swamps. And you're going to have and everything else and all the villages all in between. And I went, oh, I love it. I love it when there's sub bosses. I love it when I'm like, okay, I'm in this dude's territory. I'm going to jack all the quests up. I'm going to help it out. And then I'm going to go fight him. And I'm going to be at such an advantage. I'm going to wreck this dude. Oh, I can't wait. And they did it. So instantly after seeing that, I went, oh man, yep. This is perfect. This is what I wanted. And then of course, on top of that, they're like, hey, and there's all the quests like you'd think of in Witcher. And there's consequences for helping and or not helping these people and doing the things. And sometimes, you know what? There's going to be choices that are like, hey man, like you can get way more powerful if you actually suck these humans' blood here, and or you can stay way weaker and help them, and maybe there's something in it for you later, maybe not. It's not a guarantee. But what do you want to do? And it's like, ooh, I love those choices where it's like, hey, if you drink all these humans' blood, you're going to instantly gain these 3 skills like way faster, or you could just stay weak and keep drinking animal blood, and maybe this dude with the pitchfork's going to help you against the vampire lord. Probably not, but hey, you never know. Those kind of choices, so much fun. And this game just showcased all that. And of course, reiterated on the whole, how the story developed and how you can just make choices that some of your family members end up dying because you're just not getting there to save them. And you have to live with those consequences, and the story changes and the ending will be changing as each of these things goes. So you're just watching as time goes by, your story just twisting and turning and not going maybe the way you wanted it to. And I'm like, yep, I got to play this.
Now, we've both kind of been sold on this one for a while, but I say that and then I immediately forget about it until it launches. So now you saying that, it's like whetting my appetite and making me go, oh man, now I got to go watch this and be extra hyped even more and then have to wait or not wait. I can't remember when this one comes out. I think it's a little later.
September 3rd or September 23rd.
I hope it's the 23rd. Third is too soon. I can't deal with that. But I mean, I'm excited for this one as it is. So hearing all that stuff, I'm going to go watch this. I'm going to go love it.
September 3rd.
God damn it. No, come on. No, okay, because we did on the Patreon episode, like the game plan.
Yeah.
I forgot 2 fucking games that both come out like the end of August, because Steins Gate Reboot comes out, which I have to play and I have to get. There's something else which I've already now forgotten. Comes out this exact same day. So then right after that, Blood of Dawnwalker just atomic bombs in. So 3 games in the course of like 4 days of launch. But back to what I was going to talk about. They've announced that there's going to be a state of play coming on the 17th, so on Monday, for Phantom Blade Zero. And then they had a big 11-minute trailer up. Pre-orders are open, deluxe version, all this other stuff. So speaking on the versions and whatever, I will say the base version, it's $60, and the deluxe version is $70. So at least Phantom Blade Zero, for now, is not doing the thing that we're all scared about. but it is doing the things that I'm delighted by, because I watched this 11-minute trailer and I was just drooling and spitting. Did you get a chance to see this yet, or have you not seen this one yet?
No, I haven't seen it all yet. I saw it and I saw it leaked, but I was like, well, maybe I'll just wait for it to actually come naturally and do it right. But I hadn't decided yet.
Everything you've seen from Phantom Blade Zero, it looks like the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen, and like the fastest, craziest freaking combat. Because of the fact that we hadn't heard anything about it, I was like, is this even a real game or not? And then you see this trailer and it's even more of all that. Like, it's still the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And the action is just fast and crazy. Like, insanely fast and crazy. Like, if you put Devil May Cry in with like Sekiro, back and forth and dodging and this and that, and all kinds of crazy action. What I loved most about this trailer is you see, it starts off, you're fighting on a runaway cart, and there's two big giant enemies on horses. And that's a big part of the trailer, is fighting one on one side, and then the camera dynamically moves over, and now you're fighting the other one. Then it moves back to the first one, moves back, and all this other stuff. But then throughout the rest of the trailer, you get snippets, and it's small snippets of you fighting bosses that have really cool, unique weapons. Like, you see a dude with like the big Chinese like entire fist gauntlet thing. He's doing big heavy moves, punching and punching, and you got your sword or whatever. And so you're dodging and whatever. And then in the next clip, you have those big heavy gauntlets and you're punching against this guy, is a giant man who's got a shield like as big as a wall. And you're like, oh man, well, I'm punching through the shield. I'm going to punch this dude. Then it cuts and you're fighting a guy who's got like the little, almost like a Kusarigama, like blades on chains. Then it cuts. Now you are using the giant shield and fighting enemies. And then the next cut, you've got the chain whip blade things. So I always thought this was just going to be like, you know, a sword, just like Sekiro, like you just have your sword and that's it. But it looks like you're getting tons of different weapons. So possibly tons of different ways to approach every single combat scenario. And all the action is just the most crazy wuxia kung fu wackadoo stuff, like the most ridiculous stuff. I think it looks like cutscene, but it looks like gameplay too, because the gameplay looks so goddamn good, of like the ridiculous kung fu stuff where the guy's like rolling his sword on his foot and like kicking it up over his shoulder and grabbing it and doing all this other stuff. So it's like the craziest over the top action. But the fact that you see your character, the main character, fighting enemies who have unique weapons, and then he's fighting with those unique weapons. I love that. Like, especially the big giant shield. He gets that. Like, it shows him holding off two giant enemies with a huge shield and then like knocking them away and stunning them. I'm like, God, that's me right there. That's me. All the fast actions? No. Give me the giant shield. I'm the rock that the waves are going to crash against. It just looks crazy. It looks insane. It finishes with a giant boss fight against, I think it's the character who Donnie Yen plays. They revealed that Donnie Yen's face and vocal and everything is in the game too. And it just looks like the craziest, biggest Sekiro boss you've ever seen somebody fight. It looks insane. Like, it looks too insane for Eric and probably too insane for me, but I just want to eat this up with a spoon. Maybe I'm not going to be good enough to play this, but I want to see somebody who's really good at this play this game, because it looks absolutely bananas. I will say the only negative I have on this trailer is it shows the English dub, and props to the actors, props to voice actors. I'm not a person who says only Asian people can play Asian characters in a dub or whatever. But there's a scene with you're talking to like a princess or whatever, and she's a Chinese lady, and she sounds like an American woman. This is the voice that comes out of her. And I'm just like, that's not, you can't do that. You can't do that. Now, I'm sure you can play it in Chinese, because that's what I'll play it in. But that's the only knock. It's just the voice acting of very American actors coming out of these very Chinese characters. But everything else, fast, crazy, flashy, beautiful, wild, crazy. Go check it out. Even if you have no interest in it, just watch it and you just be like, damn, that looks nuts. And then stay tuned for the state of play.
I will indeed go check it out after we finish the show, because why the hell not? Let's go take a peek. And what I did earlier today, too, is also take a peek at a Kinetic Publishing showcase. They, of course, Kinetic is a developer, and they, if you don't know, they did Phasmophobia. Well, Phasmophobia ended up making them billions of dollars, and they said, well, I know what we can do. Let's help support other folks just like us with some of this money we made. So now they have a publishing arm, and today they showcased 5 games that they're, of course, obviously publishing that are going to come out mostly in 2028. And it was hosted by Ben Starr to boot. So pretty cool, pretty fun. It was a very good showcase. I enjoyed it immensely. And I'm not going to go in depth here because we're out of time. So I'm telling you to go watch it. But I'll tell you this. The 5 games were Contact Protocol. And very briefly, it's one of those games where you're in space and you're in charge of this like little ship, and you gotta, these other ships come through you and you gotta stop them. And you gotta question what they're doing there and everything else. And then you gotta blow them up if you think they're bad. Let them through if you think they're good. It's that type of game, like that taxi game too, where not a taxi, but you're like a car dude and you had to inspect the car and before you let them pass through. It's the same thing, but in space. But they added an element where on top of it, you can go into the spaceship on your time off or days off, and your other crewmates are there. And depending on what you did, they start to like or dislike you more because they're like, dude, you're killing everybody coming through the space station. What's wrong with you? And others are like, no, you let someone through who definitely was bad. But then you can also just tinker around. So pretty neat. If you like those types of games, check this one out. Then they did a game called Crescent County and a motor broom adventure. This one looked amazing, Matt. You're colorful, very artistic, and you're this witch, and you got a motor broom, obviously, and you're flying this thing around. You move to this town, and you got to figure things out, figure life out. So you take up all these small jobs, delivering stuff or helping people on your motor broom, but at the same time, you're making friends, and they want to race you. So there's like racing you can do in it, and then just hang out time. You can also romance the other characters, so there's a little bit of that going on. Very neat, very cool. I was like, that was one I'm actually probably interested in watching a little bit more of and maybe getting on board with. Next one was Shellbound, Matt. Shellbound, Metroidvania. You're on top of a snail. The whole world is on top of this snail. And not only is it just like an aesthetic, which it is, but it's interactable. So like for instance, in the trailer, they go, oh, hey, the heart sends out these electromagnetic pulses, but you at some point gain control of that and you can release it. So then it opens switches and allows things to turn off and on and allows you to move and go further in the game. But they also didn't want it to be classic Metroidvania where you have to get like certain things to then go back and traverse the areas. So the enemies, you're a parasite and you can control them. So you can just jump into them, which gains you temporarily abilities you don't have. So instead of being stuck waiting to get to the double jump, you can just go jump into a thing that can fly or whatever and then go to that. And then another layer is when you kill enemies enough times, they evolve to you. So they're like, oh, instead of just being the maggot, now I'm this flying creature, which then opens up more possibilities because you can inhabit now this flying creature, get you further in, so on and so forth. Really cool idea, really neat, one I'm interested in, but I don't know why I just haven't been real big into Metroidvanias for many years now, which is strange because it used to be something I just loved crazily, so it's weird. But looks good nonetheless. And then there's the Aether, Wizard Life, which is a cozy game. You build up this, you just graduated from the Wizard Academy, and there's baddies trying to get you wizards and kill you and steal your souls and energy and whatnot. And you've got to figure out who's doing it. But on top of that, you're building up your own castle and you're making your own potions and you're hanging out with your friends inside your cozy little academy/castle and everything else. Cozy game, cute, looks fun, not up my alley, but cool nonetheless. And then last but not least, Precognition. This is from the folks who gave you Immortality and Her Story. They're making a new one. They didn't really talk about what is going on in this game a lot. They kind of just bounced back to what they've done in the past and what their vision is for what kind of game they want to make. They hired like some bigwig horror story, actual movie dude to come in and like consult and help them out with this one. So it's going to be freaky. It's going to be crazy. But in a nutshell, I guess this chip gets put in this chick's head. Now she can see parts of her future and they keep coming. And then you can memorize pieces of it when it happens. And then you start to form what goes on and how it progresses based off these fragments you're remembering and keeping as your part of your core. And it spirals and goes sideways in every which way. And every story is going to be different based on the player choice of what like segments to put in place and keep and not keep. And so instantly your story is going to change from everybody else's right off the bat. And that's pretty much kind of the gist of it, what I got out of it. But yeah, a lot of cool games, 5 in total. Really cool showcase, came out of the blue, and I just was like, oh, Ben Starr's in it, so I'll check it out. Click, and impressed.
I'm definitely going to have to check that out because I had no idea that was going on, but I have seen bits and pieces of each of those games, like a little write-up saying, hey, here's an upcoming psychological horror game that's live action and FMV style, and that's the one you were talking about right at the end there. So I'm going to definitely check that out, just like everybody should check out. My 2 last things, and like we said, we don't got time to talk about them, but first up is on October 1st, Ghost Yotei is getting a story expansion and then a new mode, and then a whole bunch of other stuff too. So the story expansion is called Echoes of Sekigahara, which is prior to all the stuff that Atsu did. It's all around the Battle of Sekigahara. If you played the game, you know she went through that. So it's all about that. It says you'll meet new enemies and find new weapons, new armor sets, new dyes, and more. So another story expansion for a Ghost game. The last one was good, so this one's going to be good too. And then you've got a single-player survival mode called Ghost of Yotei Most Wanted. It says in this PlayStation blog I'm looking at, it's our spin on a roguelike. So I don't know if Eric's going to like this one, but it's you're accepting bounties and starting new runs and then playing as different characters. If you're Atsu, you're running with the dual katanas. If you're Oyuki, you've got the Kusarigama. But it says you can unlock all kinds of other additional characters. And then if you haven't played the original game yet, you can get Ghost of Yotei Complete Edition for $70, or you can get just the add-ons for, I think, $14.99 on October 1st. So a pretty good bundle pack. I mean, you get a story expansion and the survival mode, and I think you get cosmetics and other stuff with that too. And of course, you can still play Legends mode if you
remember
have
the
that.
Legends is all there too for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff coming for Ghost of Yotei. And then the last thing for me is, I'm going to say it on the show here, even though I'm not allowed to talk about it probably. 4Loop, closed beta number 2 is here. I posted about it in the Discord. It's live today as we're recording this through Sunday. And then it goes live again on the 20th through the 23rd. And then live again from the 27th through the 30th. So if you've ever wanted to play some 4Loop, go check it out. Closed beta running every Thursday through Sundays, all through the rest of August. I'm excited because was I able to say? I wasn't able to say, and I'm not able to. I'm just going to say it. Who cares? When I played the first one, they had the 2 little play sessions. So I'm excited to see. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm excited to play this. This probably isn't on a lot of people's radar, but if it was on your radar at all, the next closed beta is here, and it runs for a long time. So I'm a little sad that I have to re-up my PSN for a month so I could do this, but there it is. It's back. And maybe it's better. Maybe it's the same. I have no idea, but I'm going to experience it, and I might not be able to tell anybody about it, but I'm going to go check it out, and everybody else should check it out too. It's a free closed beta. I didn't pre-order anything to get into this, so just go check it out. I think there's like a wait list you can apply to, and they'll let you in if they got spots for you. So 4Loop closed beta, Ghost of Yotei, we got all kinds of good stuff.
Indeed we do. We had a lot of fun news this week. It's been great. But now we got to end the show. And we definitely ain't got time for something Matt wants to do.
Yes, we do.
That.
We always have time for Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. Because last week's question was, released in 1971, which computer game featured a journey to Willamette Valley and a possible game over due to the player character dying from dysentery? That is the Oregon Trail. Now a new card and a new question. This week's question is, which real-time strategy game series by Creative Assembly has had entries with Roman, medieval, and Napoleonic settings?
Oh, man. This is probably one I should know, but...
Correct. I was going to say we've mentioned it recently, and I think in the we had a bunch of those. But yes, you got it right. And what about you out there in podcast listener land? Do you know the answer to that question? Do you have thoughts on all the millions of things we talked about this week? Send that to us via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at ThirdShiftMe. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Hit the Discord. Hit the Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. If you see me on the street, don't talk to me, but wish me good luck and good health. And if I'm in a 5K and you're walking like 5 abreast across the place and like blocking the whole way, at least move a little bit because people are going to pass you. People are going to pass you. I move to the right when I slow down. You should do that too. And I also will say, Eric, you were not in the lead and now you're in the lead again with that answer. So congrats to you, good sir.
Thank you. You know, I try. See, I do know some stuff, or at least semi-know it enough to where I can take a guess that's usually going to be right. You know, it was 2 things in my brain. So I had a 50-50 chance. And I got the right one. So I feel good about it. But that's enough of that. You know what I feel good about? I feel good about the Patreon. I feel good about folks going over there and supporting the shit out of us, which they've done so many times in the past and have continued to do so. And I hope some of you will also consider throwing some bucks in, helping us out, keep the lights on for Third Shift. But you know what? If you can't do that, go over to the freaking Discord, get on there and at least have some fun, post some questions, have some conversations, put in some mailbag questions. And if you don't want to do that, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, give some 5-star ratings, go over to Twitch, give us your Amazon Prime over there. Watch Matt do some gaming one of these days. It'll happen and it'll be fun and it'll be great. We can't wait. So many ways to support us, and I hope you choose today to be the day you go do one of those things.
If you can't do any of those things, at the very least, listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on around the 20th on iTunes and Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it. There's so many games I want to stream, but then I'm like, oh man, I got to sit down and say, I got to set up. I got to be entertaining. I can't just be one of those streamers that just, Eric, you won't see this, but Eric sees just slump in a chair with a mic here and go, yeah, wow, I'm doing it. Yeah. I'm doing that puzzle in Murder by Numbers. I got it. Oh, I got to go catch a fish and lock Hermosa down. Here I go. I got to get jazzed up. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
I'm sure it'll happen, by gosh golly. And that's the name of the river we've been on all these years, Matt. Going to Conjecture Island. It's the Pad Thai River.
There you go.
I figured it out.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
the river we've been on. That's it. The story deepens. When we'll get there, you got to support us to know. So, that's all there is to it. Oh, and I'm supposed to say something else about 5-star ratings, and you're supposed to give them to us, but I continue to be disappointed in you. So, you're not getting a story this week, suckers. How about that?
And with that, there's nothing else to say but
Don't
forget to save.
Shut up and sit down.